Okay, welcome to this very exciting part of the process, the interview process. Right now, this is where we are going to move the needle the most and convert on these high paying offers. So, first of all, please, guys, very important is read this whole document in its entirety, okay? And run through this exercise every single time you have an interview, okay? Do not skip this, right? Because this is your chance to shine and turn the opportunities that the team gets you into high paying job offers. Okay. Now, this exercise will help you prepare for real world interviews the smart way by combining research, strategy, and practice. So, here's a step by step tutorial on exactly what to do. So you're going to need three things open. Okay. First of all, you're going to have LinkedIn open, okay, for the job postings, and you're going to have ChatGPT open to do the exercise. But I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do. Okay. So the first step is we want to download the company's annual reports. Okay. So that you can understand their priorities, their strategies, and more importantly, the language that they use. Because if you can speak like them, they will trust you more, like you better, and they'll also offer you more money. I guarantee that. Now, if the company's report is not available, let's say they're not publicly traded, you could also just read 2 or 3 articles about the company. You can use things like TechCrunch, Crunchbase, LinkedIn News. You can also read, the company's about section or blog posts. You got to go into a rabbit hole here, okay? Because we want to find as much information as possible to feed ChatGPT so it can develop this interview strategy with you, okay? So the second step is using ChatGPT. So you want to have that open as well, right? And essentially, we're going to use ChatGPT to analyze all the reports or the data that we give it, and generate a tailored interview strategy based on the role you're applying for, right? As simple as that. It's gonna include questions that they might ask you, questions you should ask them, and key talking points to bring up during the interview. We always want to remember that an interview is not, an interrogation. It's a dialogue, just like a sales cycle. Okay. Now, step 3 is we're going to practice. So you're going to run through the scenario, the exercise with ChatGPT. It's going to funnel you interview questions. You're going to answer them back, and it's going to rate you on a scale of 1 to 10 and assess how your answers rate on a scale, right? We're going to be using the STAR framework, which is situation, task, action, and result. All our answers need to go through the STAR framework. You will see very quickly once you go through this exercise what that is. Okay, so don't worry. Now below you have all the prompts that we need, okay, and you're going to plug these into ChatGPT. I'm going to show you exactly what to do from step 1 until the end so you can have an amazing experience preparing for your interview and just be 100% prepared to crush it and convert on those offers. So let's dive into it. So you're going to grab the job description that you've applied for and secure the interview with, either on LinkedIn or just click on the link that the team gave you. And we're going to check and make sure that they have a annual report. So we're going to just Google it straight up. Go into Google and we're going to put electronic arts annual report. It's right there, 2024. Click on it. It's right here. Okay. You can also find it in the investor sections on the websites, but you can often just Google it. It will give it to you. So we're going to click on that and we are going to download it. Okay. So we're going to click on this and download it. It's right here. So I'm going to grab it. Great. Now, next step is we need to have our CV handy. Make sure that you use the CV that you use to apply to the job. You have 6 or 7 different CVs. Make sure you grab the one that you used when approaching the hiring manager, because that's the one they have. Okay. So make sure you don't make that mistake. Grab the one that you used. If you're not sure, ask the team, but it should be in the email thread. Check your Gmail before touching base with the team. I'm sure you'll find it very quickly. And we're going to have both those documents, so the annual report and your CV. Now let's go into the prompt sheet to see what we're going to do. So we're going to go down here and we're going to grab prompt 1, okay? We're just going to copy it and we're going to go into ChatGPT and we're going to paste it here. I'm going to read it for you. So I am preparing for a job interview at company name. So here we go. We're going to start plugging this stuff in. Electronic arts. For the role of, let's go to LinkedIn. Grab the role, copy, paste it, Control C, go back to ChatGPT. We're going to plug it in here. Account Coordinator, Advertising and Sponsorships, FC. Okay. I'm attaching the document name. So I'm attaching the 2024 annual report. Or if you're just using other information, you could say an annual blog post or information about the company. You can even just copy the text in there, whatever you want. But here we're going to have actually the annual report downloaded that we're going to attach to it. Okay. So if you do have a lot of information, you can also open up a Word document and you can put all the information you find on a Word document, download it into a PDF and then upload it here. That also works. So I'm attaching the 2024 annual report, which I would like you to analyze from the perspective of insert role. So let's put the role that we said before. Okay. Can you please give me an overview of important information for the role in question? I would like you to define an interview strategy for me. Okay. So I want you to give me key questions they may ask me, questions I should ask the hiring manager, important talking points and discussion topics that may arise in the interview. I am also dropping my resume for your reference so that you can ask me critical questions. So let's go ahead and drop in the annual report. And let's drop in resume. So I'm just going to use the student resume that we have. Okay. And we're going to hit enter. Okay, so it might take a few seconds to spit this out, but it's absolutely amazing what this does. It essentially analyzed the complete financial report for you and gave you strategic topics and themes to discuss during your interview for the role in question. Okay, so we have all the themes here. We have likely interview questions that you can already go over. Guys, this is so important right now to go into a rabbit hole. If you don't understand some of the things that they're asking you or the questions, I mean, you need to research it. You got to Google things. You want to maybe prompt ChatGPT to give you, even more of an overview or clarify things. Make sure you know exactly what's going on here, because when you get to the interview, it's your time to shine, guys. We have to be prepared, okay? So this is a key moment for you to really go into detail, because you're only focusing on the interview. That's your only job right now. And you need to make sure you're prepared, okay? So I count on you guys to do this. Now, after the likely interview questions, I mean, there's some based on your resume, there's cultural fits that you can talk about, there's questions you should ask the hiring manager, talking points to bring up, everyth's here, okay? Now, go into a rabbit hole already, but the next step and what you can do immediately, and let's say you have a couple interviews in a day, if you want to speed up the process, you can go to our next prompt. So go back into our sheet, and we're literally going to ask ChatGPT to do a mock Q&A prep session with us and rehearse our responses and refine our narrative. So here we go. Let's go back into it. Here we go. I'm going to drop it in here as simple as possible, and it's going to start giving us our first question. Okay. So you've worked with Fortune 100 clients. How would you manage high expectations from global sponsors like Nike or Coca-Cola in the context of an entertainment property like EA Sports? Okay, so right away I plugged in just an answer, okay? I tried to make this as simple as possible, this answer. So I think you should just stay in touch with the sponsor and make sure they're happy. I'd probably send them reports or updates and ask if everything is going well. If not, I try to fix it quickly, right? A very standard answer. But here's what ChatGPT is gonna do. So based on whatever you give it, it's gonna give you a rating. So I got a 4 out of 10 on this one, okay? Now it tells you exactly what's wrong with my answer. So your answer shows basic awareness of client communication. But to stand out at EA, especially in a brand-driven sponsorship-heavy environment, you'll need to show proactivity and ownership, demonstrate experience navigating complex stakeholder needs, reference how you've already done with similar scale clients. Okay, and it's also going to give us a refined star answer, right? So the situation. At Oryx Group, we secured a multi-year agreement with a Fortune 100 client in the infrastructure sector who had an extremely high expectations around deliverables, communication, and brand alignment. So my role, right, task, right, star, ST, task, my role was to serve as the main point of contact, ensuring the client's expectations were constantly exceeded throughout the contract term across multiple regions and stakeholders. Now, what type of action? I set up a structured communications cadence that allowed bi-weekly performance check-in, monthly KPI dashboards, and quarterly strategic alignment calls with senior leadership. I also proactively identified gaps in engagement, proposed mid-campaign adjustments that aligned their brand messaging with evolving market needs. And the result, this approach led to a 3-year renewal of the contract and a 45% year-on-year increase in spend. More importantly, the client later used our engagement as a benchmark when evaluating other vendors globally. Now, guys, this might seem like a foreign text to you because it is, but ChatGPT will literally spit out exactly how you can portray your experience to these questions. Get really familiar with answering questions in this structure: situation, task, action, result, okay? It doesn't need to be as in-depth as this, but you have to make sure you hit those KPIs, okay, when answering questions. Now, practice this, and again, ChatGPT just asks you, let me know when you're ready for question 2. I'm ready. And it will ask us a specific question about the Q4 or the annual report of 2024 and your resume, and you just keep going through this process until you are so prepared that you can't wait to get these questions in the interview. Okay, so go back, go into a rabbit hole, review everything, the overview section, all of that from ChatGPT, what it gave you, know everything, practice these interview questions as much as you can and be as prepared as possible, and you will absolutely crush this. Can't wait to hear all about it. Good luck.